Hey guys, happy Saturday. Thanks for tuning in to another installment of Saturdays with Sin. This is definitely an impromptu Saturday with Sin because I was just chilling, minding my business when I came across this video on YouTube. Y'all know that's my favorite social media platform. Not Instagram, not Twitter, but not Facebook, but YouTube, where I am now. But I came across this video about how Zonnique, T.I. and Tiny's daughter, um actually broke up with her child's father. And then like the caption or the title was like, "Are we surprised?" Like, look what happened and stuff like that. And of course, me being on nosy, I just wanted to read what comments were saying. And the thing that made me be like, really, was a comment that said something to the effect of, "Watch she go get a Russell Wilson afterwards to try to make up for dating the bad boy before." And I'm like, what's wrong with that? So she can't learn from her mistake. So with that, I'm going to talk to Zonnique like I'm talking to y'all. Like if I was able to talk to her, a younger, if I could sit up there and have a conversation about what to look for if you are actually trying to date, what kind of men are the marrying kind, because this is a real thing. I got studies, statistics, and facts to back this stuff up. So if I was able to talk to Zonnique, Reginae, all the little young girls or whatever that's coming up, if you want to like date and have fun, okay. But if you want to date and be married, you have to be strategic. So I'm going to play my intro and I'm going to come back. And thanks again for joining, but we'll be right back.
Medicine, Quebec, man, a girl was heaven sent. Medicine, Quebec, man, a girl was heaven sent.
Thanks for joining me again on this installment of Saturdays with Sin. I usually talk about love and marriage Huntsville, which we will go back and talk to. But we had so much fun last Monday when I did my live stream. And we was like, why don't we talk about dating and relationships and things like that? So this topic came to my mind earlier this week about why some men marry certain women and why others don't. You know how you hear some men that say they don't want to get married, like why not? Especially in particular for me, I wanted to know why men be with women for years and years and years. The women be beautiful, funny, sexy, cute, in shape, no kids, everything they say they want. But I'm like, why not marry her? So that is what this whole idea came from, because I'm going to be having questions, So I just want to say, hey, Linda Gamble, thanks for tuning in. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this topic as well. So thanks for tuning in. Good evening to you as well. But I'm going to share my screen because I want y'all to see the actual video that I'm talking about. Let me put on mute. I don't want no copyright strikes. Share screen. Okay. So this video was titled T.I.'s daughter is officially a single mom. You see how they put officially in bold? You see that? You see? And guess who's mad? I listened to the video and I like some of the points that O'Shea Jackson were talking about, how it does seem like we have a culture of putting the horse before the carriage kind of vibe. I mean, I get that. I see where he's coming from. But of course, I feel like sometimes experience is the best teacher. So although you tell your kids right from wrong, and you as a adult person, your parents probably try to guide you and tell you the right things, but sometimes you decide to do your own things. So I was just reading the comments, seeing how men, checking the temperature, and somebody said something to the effect of talking about Zonnique. Then she'll be trying to find a stepdad like Russell Wilson, who is the complete opposite of the type of guy that she's actually attracted to. And that really triggered me because I'm like, why do y'all feel as though like she's really attracted to, like, I guess let's say the bad boy, the hood boy kind of type? Like maybe she was curious about that type, and now she learned her lesson. She dated him, she been there, she done that, and maybe she really don't want nobody like that. Like, why do y'all not feel as though women can change their type? Y'all be changing your types all the time. You have made liked a light skin, thick red bone growing up because that's what culture and celebrities will talk about. But as you get older, you may like somebody chocolate and skinny or something, or like a Naomi Campbell type. So I just feel like that's not fair to feel like just because she's trying to change her type or date somebody that's more stable or want to marry somebody more stable that's more quote unquote husband material, why are you trying to fault her for that? So like I said, I was thinking about this. Really came about earlier this week when I thought about Lauren London. I seen that she just did an interview on YouTube with Angie Martinez, and I was like, oh, look at her. And I really didn't watch it like that, but I looked at the suggested videos. And after I looked at the suggested videos, I seen that she was talking about they showed the clip of her at Nipsey Hussle's funeral, and she was saying like, how good they vibed. That was the best boyfriend she had, things like that. And that's when I had a thought. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. That was everybody's guy crush. I mean, that was every guy's woman crush growing up. Everybody liked Lauren London. So I'm like, dang. So Nipsey had the girl that everybody want, but I'm just like, if they were so good together and all that other stuff, why didn't they decide to get married? Like, why didn't he want to like make it official? So then that's when Cinquetta was on her Googles. And I came across this article right here. This is what kicked a lot of this off. It's time to set it up. I'm going to share it real quick. Share screen. Let's get it together, computer. So this article is titled "Why Men Resist Marriage Even Though They Benefit the most from it." And this is from Institute for Family Studies.org. Okay, it's no .com. It's no no thoughts, or no, it's actually a study from an organization of scholars and writers, okay, that actually researched this topic. And the article is pretty old. It came out in 2014, so 8 years ago, but it's still pretty relevant to the topic at hand. And one of the things that stood out to me was when the article said, let me see, I'm gonna provide y'all the quote. The fact that men are legendarily wary of marriage is stranger than it first appears. Both men and women benefit from marriage, but men seem to benefit more overall. In addition to being happier and healthier than bachelors, married men earn more money and live longer. And men can reap such benefits even from a mediocre marriage. Come on now. See, and that's the part that I like, because it, again, for me, besides science and statistics backing it up, it kind of reaffirms what God's word says. The man that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. So when you marry a woman, even if the marriage is whack, according to this study, like it's still gonna work out for you, because that's something that God like ordains and sanction, and you're gonna get that favor or whatever. So it also says, while for women the benefits of marriage are more strongly linked to marital quality. And that goes without saying, because you know how they say women need to choose better. So I understand that part. So our women, we benefit more by like the quality of the mate, if he's suitable, kind of thing. And we're gonna talk about who's suitable. But yes, I just had to say that, because I feel like it's a lot of propaganda out there trying to say that men don't get no benefits from marriage. Houseway, like studies are showing that you guys do. So I'm a little confused. So yes. So that really upset me. But now I understand that that's not true. All right. And then another thing I realized was, I don't know, if you guys are subscribed to my channel, even if you're not subscribed to my channel, I had did a poll a few days ago and asked y'all, like, what do y'all think is the most common reason for men not wanting to get married? And 43% of people said that most men probably don't want to get married because he thinks women are after his money and he'll lose a lot of it if the marriage ends. So I'm happy that came up, because according to research, according to this article, the reason why many men marry some women and not others, That's actually not the case. So they found out that men that quoted that or said that, if they were in relationships with women, the women made more money than they did. So them saying like they feel as though women are after them for their money, to me it kind of sounds like an excuse, because women are out here making it, they're working or whatever. So why would you even think that? And I'm glad the article also touched on, like, if you hear a man say something like that, you don't just walk away from him, you run, because it's not going to be no convincing him. And usually when men say that stuff, they really don't have that much money to lose or in the first place. So, I just be very, very confused about that. And I feel like that's still not a good reason to not marry, because you feel like the woman's going to take your money. So prenups don't exist. You can't marry a woman that has more money than you. If that is your real fear, like, why can't you, if that's the case, why don't you just already date or marry a woman that has things in place for herself already? A popping career, maybe she on Instagram, she do hair and making a lot of money or whatever. So why let that stop you? So I feel like it's an excuse, because a lot of women are making it nowadays. A lot of women are, even though you don't like it, bringing a lot to the table as far as finances, intellectual, and all that other stuff. Y'all say y'all don't want that. That's cool. But for the men that feel like women are after their money, why don't you just date one of those women, like those high achieving women, and then you won't feel that way. So I just be kind of confused. But yeah, know that that's cap, ladies. If somebody, if a man is talking about he don't want to get married because he feel like he's gonna lose all his money, that's absolutely not true. And I feel like that's probably somebody you really don't want to be with at the end of the day. Because do y'all remember how when Kenya Moore and her husband Mark Daly, they were dating and they had a double date with Candy and Todd? And I never forget when Mark said, like, you can take all this if we break up. Like, I'll build it up. I'll build it up again. And I'm like, that's real. I feel like most men probably feel that way. I even look at Donald Trump. I think he was married before, but he may have lost money in that divorce, but he still wound up, and I think he actually did become bankrupt, but he still wound up going further afterwards or whatever, after the marriage. And same thing with Steve Harvey. I learned that Steve Harvey, he even said it in an interview, that he lost a lot of his money after his second divorce. But now look at him. So I feel like when men, it's just like all cap to me. It's all a real excuse to probably not get married. It's not that they really probably feel that way. I think that's just what they're saying. One, because they don't got a lot of money, but maybe two, it's because they really don't want to get married. But and look, I got stuff to back up what I'm saying. So, do you see this right here? Men become richer after divorce. Male income rises by a third after split, while women are worse off and can struggle for years. You see this? Like, everything that I feel like was said online was the opposite. Oh, the men lose it all after divorce. Oh, the women get everything. Not true. Studies are saying something different, So we're not about to do that. And you see, the research was carried out by Professor Stephen Jenkins, a director of the Institute for Social and Economic Research and chair of the Council of the International Association for Research on Income and Wealth. So this ain't no, like, when with the barbershops talking about anecdotal evidence. This is actual really real facts. Now, this article did come out in 2009. So I also came across this article that says, divorce destroys finances of Americans, over 50 studies show. Because I wanted to see, like, maybe y'all, all right, maybe men that say they don't want to get married is because they're going to lose everything in finances. Okay, maybe that is true. Let me see where they're coming from. And this came from Bloomberg.com. However, I found, but incomes also collapse after a great divorce. So, once people are 50 and over, particularly for women. So here we go again, for women. Like, the income drops for women. The researchers looked at as standard of living, income adjusted for household size, reflecting the fact that a solo adult needs less income than a single parent with 2 children still at home. They found that when women divorce after 50, standard of living plunges 45%. That's about double the decline found in previous research on younger divorced women. Older men see their standard of living drop 21% after divorce. So who's in the worst condition? The person whose standard of living dropped 21%, or the person whose standard of living dropped 45%? I'm just saying. So I'm starting to realize that it be opposite day. Men say one thing, just think the other. Just think the other. Because literally, I'm like, maybe this entire time they were quoting how we felt, because really it's really not the case for them. They actually fare off better. They actually make more money after the divorce. So they need to stop that. So I wanted to bring that out. And then the second point of why some men marry and others don't. You guys voted that 21% of people voted that a man won't get married because he's not stable in his career or job, or he doesn't have his own place. Now that is a real reason. This article, I'm gonna go back to it. This article literally said, if you're gonna date the marrying kind, date the marrying kind. And the marrying kind is the man who is stable in his career and his job, been on his job for a while, and also, what was the other point? And lives alone. A man kind of goes without saying, a man that still lives at home with his parents is not likely to get married. So, don't date those kind of men. But, if he's been at his job, been in his career for a while, lives at home, and sown his wild oats, he's the marrying kind. That's kind of who you want to narrow into as well. Because I feel like that's another way that women mess up, by marrying men that still may be in that sowing their wild oats phase. And that is a real thing. They said that's something that men have to get out their system. Like, they just do. So if you're dating somebody that's still going out to the clubs and to the bar scene, like, that's not the marrying kind, He still wants to have fun and be single. So you kind of want to date somebody that is over that phase, because unless they get out of their system, they ain't gonna marry you. So that's one thing to consider. Hey, Stay Tuned Reviews. So, Stay Tuned Review said most women, if given a choice, would rather marry a man that could pay most of the bills. Most of these women are against signing prenups because they want to be set if things don't work out. Exactly. Now, did you hear how women far worse than men after the divorce? It's actually not what everybody was saying, like how men lose everything. It's more so the woman. And I feel like that is kind of true, because I feel like if a man got like 5 or 6 kids after a divorce, he's more likely to get married again versus a woman that has 5 or 6 kids, 5 or 6 kids. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but so she already in a position where she's going to have to take on the majority of the bulk. And so I feel like women are way more vulnerable in these situations. So you definitely should probably, I get why women want to be taken care of and provided for, but like for the men, and this study was like complicated in a way because they even talked to older men. So I feel like maybe the women, maybe young girls, yes, I'll give that to you. Young girls are going to want to be taken care of, want to probably get all the bills paid and stuff like that. But I feel like for older women that maybe been there, done that, I feel like they wouldn't mind going 50-50 or, carrying their weight, because more so they're probably looking for a partnership kind of thing. So that's just what I think. All right. And if a woman divorces a breadwinner and they have kids, that woman could get a settlement, alimony, and child support. It also doesn't help when men see scores of women cheering high profile divorces. I feel like that kid part kind of trumps it all, because although you don't want to give up your money, that woman bore your children into the world and birthed a legacy, which is more than money can ever kind of, I feel like you have kids, you have an extension of yourself. So to me, that's, and maybe because I'm a woman, I think like this, but that's way more than millions and billions of dollars. The simple fact that, when women go through pregnancy and are giving birth, they're like closest to death. I feel like that's just kind of astronomical. And it's something that men can't really try to trivialize because they can't do it. You know what I mean? It's just, no, I feel like it's really no comparison. So when women do get settlements and stuff like that, I'm like, she gonna need it. She the one that's, again, it may be harder for her to get a new mate versus a man. You know what I mean? So it kind of balances itself out. And I don't know if you heard me when we came in. This article right here, men become richer after divorce, and I feel like that's true. Like we can look at people like Donald Trump and Steve Harvey. They on their third or fourth marriage and are even more popping now than before. So I feel like men are like capping a little bit. Okay, Dr. J, Jeff Bezos, Michael Jordan, etc. They get divorced and scores of women cheer their wives for getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars despite having it's not a small role in helping get the bag. It's not, like I said, don't you feel like most men would probably give up? But then I don't know, y'all would, because y'all go crazy over your sons. Don't you feel like most men would give it all up if they had the choice to have like a lot of money versus having a family, having their seed and legacy in the earth? Like, I feel like most men would give that up. So it shouldn't matter that she didn't really put in work. Why would you want her to? Don't you want all the credit? Because then, like, if the woman helped you out, it's like she can always say she helped you out. And you know how y'all men are. Y'all want all the credit. And I feel like that is best. Like, yeah, I'm going to give my man that. Like, you did do that. So why would you kind of, and like, we're not going, no, because I didn't, for Jeff Bezos, for example, didn't his wife family give him the startup money to start up Amazon? So let's not do that. These women helped. Like I said, they birthed their children. Some of them had the connections. So we're not going to minimize their role. You know what I mean? And if anything, them being beautiful and cute and stuff like that probably like inspired that motivation in them to get it. So that's not what y'all men know, that y'all not making all that money just cause. I mean, maybe not, but most of y'all are making a lot of money so y'all can get women. So you know what I mean? So hustling kind of inspires you to do that. Like, I want the baddest chick, the best car. So stop. Y'all not doing that for each other. You know what I mean? I feel like y'all are getting to the bag because of women. But that's just my thoughts. Thanks. Great. I really feel like this stuff is interesting because I don't know if you heard the beginning Say Tune reviews. I was just thinking about like beautiful women like Lauren London, Ashanti, like women like that. Ain't they bad? Ain't they fine? Ain't they fit and feminine? Ain't they got their real hair? Ain't they like all that stuff that y'all want in a package? Ain't. But I feel like I just didn't understand why their long-term boyfriends never married them. And then that's when I came across this article, Why Men Resist Marriage Even Though They Benefit the Most from It. And then I came across this article, The Reasons Why Men Marry Some Women and Not Others. And then it made sense to me. Like, it's some men, like we said earlier, don't mess with a man when they're in their like living their best life season or sowing their wild oats. They have to do that. I feel like, sisters, like, we got to talk about that. And you know what? That's probably why like girls go after the bad boys, because in a way they may feel like that's exciting, Or I feel like a lot of women feel like I'm going to be the one to change him. Like he going to cut off all his hoes for me. Ain't going to happen. Leave him alone. So you can't really talk to a guy that is out there trying to do his thing. Like, it's not going to work for you. You also can't talk to a guy that's not established. Like, if he's trying to get his career in order, he's going to want to do that. If he wants to make money and stuff first, he needs to do that so he can feel like he can provide for a wife. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes women get men in the wrong season while he's still building. He do want to be established. He does want to have his own place. You know, he don't want to bring you home to his mom kind of thing. And I respect that. So, okay, I already told y'all the other thing is he is for the streets. You know, some men don't want to get married. If you're talking to a guy and you're thinking about marriage, but he's sowing his wild oats, he's in the streets, that's okay. Let him be. His mind not on marriage right now. And it makes me think maybe that was the case for Nelly and like rappers and stuff like that. You know, if they're still out in the club popping bottles and stuff, party promoter life, like things like that, they just may not be ready to get married, and that's okay. What else did y'all say? I also learned that if men had parents that are divorced and the parents divorced young, that does have an effect on how they see marriage. That is true. So I feel like that is something that if you are in the dating market and the goal is to get married, you should ask a guy or find out about his family parent dynamics, because also learn from this article, men follow the leader. If their friends start to get married, they gonna want to get married. If like an older sibling or something gets married, that increases the chances of them getting married. You know what I mean? But if you find out that like your boyfriend or whoever you're dating at the time, you just ask him about his friends, if any of them are dating or single, if he say all of them are, then he may not be in that space to get married. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, Staten Review says if the man is in a better financial place to take care of the kids, should the father get custody after a divorce and receive child support from the mother? No, because like you just said, the man is in a better place financially. You know, most women, look, we got the studies, we got the statistics. So the standard of living for men drops 21% after a divorce. The standard of living drops 45% for women. So like women are kind of at the lesser advantage. You know, it just is what it is. Like, because in a way, it kind of, y'all know it's true too. Y'all the same ones that I don't want to date a single mom. It affects their, I guess, marketplace desirability to then get somebody else that is well off and stuff. So while y'all could meet another woman, link up with her, combine finances, the woman is just her. So what is she gonna do? And I feel like, yeah. So in this case, I don't think, and most men, I'm not gonna say y'all don't want to care for kids, but that's not, y'all not trying to slow down. So I really couldn't see a man wanting to take full custody. But you know, if that is how we go in the courts, because I learned that from Judge Judy. The mother is not better than the father. You know what I mean? So you're right. If the man can mentally and financially and all the other stuff take care of the kids better than the mom, then yes. But most of the time, I feel like men don't even want the kids like that. Okay, I think that if a wife is a legitimate business partner and help build the company from the ground up, then she should get half or the empire. But if she just took care of the kids, then that's her job. Right. Like she made sure your kids was clean. They ate, they were fed, they went to school. Like that is a job. Because see, remember Betty Duke. Betty, hold on. Let me get it right for y'all. Betty Broderick. Let me put this up here. Oopsies. Do y'all remember this story? Betty Broderick. She is the lady that yeah, who was convicted of murdering her ex-husband and his second wife because she was married to this man, had his kids, held him down through law school, you know, was there, all the shebang. Then for him to want to divorce and marry like his younger woman secretary lady or whatever. So that when she did that back in the it was the 80s or late 70s or early 80s kind of thing, that literally changed the trajectory of the court system and as we see divorce today now because of that. Because finally the courts were able to see that child rearing was a job. You know what I mean? It's actually a real thing. I think sometimes men feel like women are just sitting around or whatever, but like it's a full time, like everything within you, you know what I mean, it has to take consideration of a child. So I just feel like no, it's different. But you see, like the man, I feel like that is he's gifted in that. He's gifted in going after it, being successful, putting that work, building his brand, building his career. And I feel like women are like successful and created and dominate that child caring space kind of thing, that child like building kids up. And I feel like neither one of them is better than the other. They're like equally important, you know? So I feel like you can't really, oh, whatever's just our job to raise our kid. No, like they're both equally important. Kind of like the man makes the bacon and the woman comes home and cooks it. They're both equally important. So that's just how I feel about it. But yes, definitely look into this case. This case was very interesting, and it kind of showed me how women, I feel like even though, like I said, we're created to give birth and be nurturing and caring, I feel like at the same time, you can't really make your children, your husband, like you still gotta have something for you. Because as soon as that was taken away from Betty, she didn't know what to do. She couldn't move on. Like, and again, see, this is why it's best for men to get on their own, because she felt like she helped build that man up. And for him to go off with his younger, finer secretary, she couldn't handle it. You know what I mean? She couldn't. So that's how come I feel like it's better if the man just kind of gets it on his own. That way the woman won't snap, you know? Look now. But when you kind of help somebody build something, they're gonna want their piece. And if you don't give it to them, they may do something crazy. So I just want this to all be me, my own hustle and muscle. And I feel like that's how men should think. Cause man, you don't want no lady snapping on you. Oh my gosh. Okay. Another thing I learned is the age of commitment. Let me write that. Let me do a little banner thing. Hold on. Okay. The age of commitment is the age that men, or kind of like around the time period where men actually consider marriage. The men aren't thinking about marriage before they even hit this age range right here. And I feel like this was important to know because for young girls that may be dating like their little college, high school, it was more so if you're dating in college, this is something to consider. Men are not thinking about marriage until they're 28 to 33 years old. And like I said in the beginning, and that they have been in their career, and that they live on their own, and that they sold their wild oats, and that they're tired of the dating scene. And I feel like for us, sometimes we date men or talking to men when they're kind of in their one of those phases. And that's why you're not, the man could be dragging his feet and he's not marrying you. So the age of commitment is between 28 and 33. So yes, like in college, you're probably not going to be dating nobody like or getting married. It could happen, but and when I think about it too, I feel like I don't really remember nobody getting married in college. And then if they did get married, it was kind of like later. That's true, yeah. That is right. But also, another thing to consider if you're dating a man that's going to graduate school, if he's going to school to become a lawyer or a doctor, something that needs a technical, higher advanced learning, the age of contentment for them is 30 to 36. So, and they still may have to sow their wild oats. They still may have to, school's over. Okay, now let me, rock out kind of thing. So that's something to consider as well. Not saying men don't marry younger than these time frames, but it to the greater chances is when they're 28 to 36, depending on their career and college and stuff like that. That's kind of what you want to consider. Anything younger than that, you may be setting yourself up or wasting your time. Or if you want to have a good time, you can. If you're not thinking about marriage, that's cool too. So that's something to consider. Hey, Misha girl. Girl, we in here talking about why some men marry and why other men don't. And I found the research fascinating, okay? Because I had to figure out why, like, sometimes you see men in these long-term relationships with their girlfriends, even though it seems like they're like perfectly compatible. I realized that he just may not be in this right season. He still may want to be out in the streets. He still may want to date. And especially like the millennial generation, like if they're between the ages of like 28, well, let's say the ages of 21 to 27, they still may be trying to figure stuff out. They may be still trying to find themselves. If they aren't really stable in their career, they're not going to think about marriage. They want to be stable in their career first. So that was like very eye-opening to me. Because sometimes you might be like, what is wrong? Like, do you not see all this? But he really just may not be thinking about it. It just may not be on his radar for, any or number of reasons. And that's another thing too I wanted to bring up. But let me read your comments. So Linda said, I got married in 1993. Me and my husband is a 19-year age difference, and we are still together. Interesting. So Linda, was your husband kind of already like stable, already knew like, okay, I'm ready for my wife kind of thing? Well, I'm pretty sure in 1993. Yeah, because back in the 90s, I feel like marriage was different. It was more traditional kind of thing. So do you feel like the marrying kind would be, as this article stated, the kind of man that's stable in his career, the man that lives alone, and the man that has already gotten out of he already sold his wild oats. He's tired of the dating scene. That's what this article said. And that's how come I feel like women that are dating the bad boys or the popular boys or the boys that's outside, it's not going to work if you want marriage. Those are the good time kind of guys. It's fun. You can hang out with them. Stuff not too serious. But if you are looking for something serious, it has to be a certain kind of man. So I felt like that was really interesting to find out. Okay, so Misha said that's good to point out. I was definitely thinking about marriage in college and black men were now that is saying something. That is I would like to I need to reach out to this person, like, to maybe see the breakdown in race and culture. That would be interesting. But I feel the same way too. Like, I was like, when I go to college, I'm definitely going to be my husband. No, not at all. And I realized, like, especially now, I'm like, okay, I'm glad that I didn't get married when I thought I was ready, because, oh gosh, you know how in the Bible it'd be like, a certain kind of woman tears down her house with her own hands. I've been like, that was me. Because before, I thought marriages were supposed to be rainbows and butterflies and all romantical like you see on TV. But I believe y'all when y'all say, the elders say, marriage is work. I really believe y'all now. And it's self-sacrificing. You see how like sometimes people look at love and dating and marriages as transactional. Like, she do this, I get that. And it can't be like that. You're supposed to be out giving each other, because it's basically like Christ's love for us in a sense. even when you get on my nerves, even though you can take all my material possessions away, like I'm still going to show you unconditional love. Like I'm still going to, I'm still going to give you the best of me. And I feel like that's how God treats us. Even when we don't be paying attention, even though we don't pay him no mind, we be doing our thing, he still shows us grace and mercy. Grace, unmerited favor, stuff you don't even deserve. Mercy, like, you did X, Y, and Z, but God is just like, okay, I ain't gonna penalize you for that. And that's kind of what marriage is. To me, in my eyes, it's not something to go in lightly or all fairy tale-ish, like I was thinking. So I'm glad, God grace me. I'm now mature about that. I'm happy. So Linda said you need to talk to parents or elders that have been married or in a long relationship. Checkpoint. I love that. And with that, I feel like, I know, like sometimes we feel like we can pick out our mate, and we can, like with guidance, prayer, I feel like God will confirm, or you have a peace in your spirit. But I also believe it's important to have people around you vet the person, kind of let you know how they feel about him or her. Because sometimes when you like somebody, you only see what you want to see. And people can pick up stuff like that because they don't love him. They don't love the guy you're dating. So they could be like, So I think that is important, but it's important to get your parents or family or the people that really love you, their buy-in really quick before you fall too deep in love. Because sometimes, like, your parents and stuff will tell you, like, I don't know, but you already like too deep to even like listen to anything else. So it should be a sweet spot kind of there where, like, him, you get to know him, you're good. But before you go off on the deep end, so if something does come up crazy, you can walk away. So I'm glad you brought up that parents and elders, like, listen to them that have been married long, because that's true. That's how come I don't want to basically, like Tony Gaskins say, like, I listen to Tony Gaskins because he's actually married to a woman, and I can see his woman. His woman looks happy. You know what I mean? Like he's been in a relationship with a woman for years, like the ups and downs and kind of thing. So I would rather listen to somebody like that versus somebody that's giving advice. And I don't really see, like, are you, like, it could be a male giving advice, but I want to see the woman that you got, and I want to hear her, and I want to see is she happy, kind of thing. And I feel like most of the time these men didn't have that, so they need to leave me alone. In my opinion, race plays a part. I definitely saw the white and Latino men getting married in college or right after. And about that, Misha, I'm glad we're talking about this, because another thing I know is, let me do this screen. Wait, where is it? This one. Okay. I'm glad you said that, because I thought about how, like you said, race, and I feel like in our culture, you hear this stuff online, like, women, we don't want your degrees, we don't like all that stuff. But that didn't stop, like, our counterparts of different cultures, that didn't stop them from getting married. You know what I mean? Nobody was upset with them for getting their degrees, but it's only when it comes down to us. And that's why I feel like you're right when it does come down to race and culture, because why should women be penalized for, wanting to be more educated? We're not saying like us because of that, but you can't be mad that we decide to strive for higher education. And isn't that weird that, like, in our community, that's something to be looked down upon instead of celebrated? Not to say you need to be with me because I got degrees, I went to college or nothing like that, but, like, why are you trying to, like, down it? But if a black man, when he got his degrees, oh my gosh, let's roll out the red carpet, king. And it's just like, oh my gosh. And I was watching a video on YouTube. It was called How Wealthy People Make Their Money. And the people went to a wealthy neighborhood in Texas. Joe Rogan lives there, Lance Armstrong. I looked it up. The median average household is like $2 million, or the worth of the house is like $2 million or whatever. Do you know the men that answered the door, they'll tell what they did. And it was like, and my wife does X, Y, and Z. And my wife does, you know what I mean? So their wives weren't, like their wives were educated, highly educated, and their jobs was very high too. So they're living good because both of them are coming together, So it's just like, you're right. I do really feel that way about our culture in particular, because why is it being frowned upon? Why? I just don't like that. So Maria Hardy said, my parents have been married for 65 years and my sister has been married for 47. I just don't know if I can do it. Oh, why not, Maria Hardy? I think that is very commendable. I think you can do it, girl. But when you say 65 years and 47 years, that was, a different generation ago. And I feel like that generation knew what it was to be married, like they did see the benefits in it. And I don't know if you was in here in the beginning, but I read a statistic, or I read from this article, why men resist marriage even though they benefit the most from it. And here we go. It says the fact that men are legendarily wary of marriage is stranger than it first appears. Both men and women benefit from marriage, but men seem to benefit more overall. In addition to being happier and healthier than bachelors, married men earn more money and live longer. And men can reap such benefits even from a mediocre marriage. So even if like the marriage is whack, you know what I mean? It's not all that, you still benefit more. So that's how come it just baffles me when they try to say there's no benefit. They don't, the women benefit. No, they don't. We do benefit, but it seems as though men benefit overall. That is kind of true. I did hear that, because a woman's gonna be like, babe, that cough didn't sound too good. You want to go check that out? You know what I mean? We'll be on them, because I'll be watching like this thing on YouTube. It's like how people die in weird ways, and it'll be a countdown of, let's say, like 20 crazy ways that people die. Do you know 19 of those 20 be men? And that just kind of showed me like how women kind of help with that. Like if we see a man about to do something crazy, we're like, oh my God, I don't think that's quite safe, babe. Like we're just gonna tell them. But men on their own, they're gonna just do crazy things. So it's like I'm tired of this. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even sharing my screen. Dang, y'all. But yeah, I was reading from this. And this is the article, why men resist marriage even though they benefit from it the most. So I just wanted to share facts. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to come on here and share evidence of my little research. Yes. It was a Lifetime movie. Oh, what were we talking about? Having consulting with elders. Yes, that's another thing. Don't take me, after the fancy dinners, after the wine and the dining, I want to go to the family reunion. I want to see how your cousins and them, your aunties and them, your grandmom and them, I want to see what I'm getting myself into. I want to see what I'm about to say I do too. Because that's the thing too. You don't realize, like, you think you're just marrying that person, but you're marrying their family too. So I want to see if there's any crazies, any stuff that's going down in the generations. Take me to a family reunion, all right? Because I want to know. Amen, right? I'm just saying. Early 1980s. Okay, it was just a different time, and people really, really cared. You couldn't even have sex back in the day unless you were married. You couldn't even have babies. Like men knew that if you wanted a child, you had to marry that woman. You know what I mean? Because it was frowned upon any other way. So, yes. And someone did say something. Remember, I was telling y'all what started this was this video right here. Well, what started me wanting to talk to y'all today was this video right here. O'Shea Jackson did this video called T.I.'s daughter is officially a single mom, and guess who's mad? You see how they can't? It's like they can't wait for like, I don't know if a woman's downfall. It's kind of like crazy to me. But when I was reading comments, one comment did make a lot of sense, and it was just how talking about how fathers used to pick out their daughters' mates, and I feel like we can kind of go back to that. Maybe not your dad picking out your mate, but if he does, it's okay. But having your dad say so, because I feel like men know other men, just how we know other women. We know when somebody is BSing. See, I know people don't like others having female, like opposite sex friends, but I think opposite sex friends are good to have. Especially, everybody don't like everybody, but I say all that to say, I learned that if somebody's putting conditions on the relationship, like you need to be X, Y, and Z, or you need to do X, Y, and Z for me to be with you, they don't like you. This guy was telling me how this girl he was dating said, you need to make $1,000 a day to be with me. So I want you to know, sir, she just was not that into you. Because no woman that wants a man is going to say something like that, like give him like a dummy mission in a way. Now, granted, can he make that much amount of money a day? Sure. Could that inspire him to like be a better man because that's what her requirement is? Sure. But I just want you to know that she don't want you for you. She wants you for what you can do for her. And that's a bad situation to be in. But then again, everybody can do their own thing. And I feel like it's the same thing with women. Like if a man is trying to change you or no, I can't. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. I learned that men don't marry interracially, interreligiously. So meaning men that are really grounded in their faith are more likely to marry a woman that is also in the same faith. So yeah, don't, unless the opposite person decides to convert. But I feel like that's another thing. If you want to get married, try to marry somebody that has the same faith as you, or try to date a man that has the same faith as you, because he's more likely to date you rather if you don't. Because the problem is, the hurdle is when it's time to have kids and y'all raise kids. Like, you know, of course, maybe the mom wants the child to be up in this religion and the dad wants the child, and it's just going to cause a lot of tension in the home. And that's very true. You know what I mean? Because I even think about the way society is going. Like, I don't care what's popular in pop culture. We're going to teach our kids how I grew up. Like, you know, and I don't want to get canceled, but y'all know what I'm saying. Like, and I'm going to need my husband to be on that same accord. Okay. You know, like, I don't care what they're teaching y'all in kindergarten. Okay. No, your body is this way because this way. Okay. Let's not get it confused. And I feel like that's, see how things are changing? Like, you do really got to make sure you're on the same page with the person, because when you guys have kids, you don't want like these weird hiccups kind of thing to come across. So Linda said, us as women do all the household stuff. Right. And Linda, I feel like men don't realize that is really a job. Just like how they go out and get it in the hustle and bustle, the home, maintaining the home, making sure everything runs smoothly. You know what I mean? He coming home to peace and clean, and that is a job. Taking temperatures of everybody's needs. That's a lot. Knowing the peanut allergies and what time this happened and who got to get dropped off to practice at this time, and PTA meetings and report cards, and maintaining the home is a full-time job, and ain't nobody gonna mean nothing different. So that's just how I feel about it. Okay, so Misha said, I agree. You should be able to get family/friends opinions. People nowadays can't take advice or criticism. They really get, they'll feel like you're trying to come at their relationship or you're trying to tear down their marriage. Misha, I should show that video. I may cue it up, but it was a video I seen about how this gay guy was trying to tell his co-worker that the boyfriend that she was dating was on the DL. And once he did tell her, because he was on the DL because he used to mess with him. So once he did tell his co-worker, she got all mad, told him that he was lying and stuff like that. And it's just like, I feel like, why would he lie? And some people probably do, but you see how like when you in love, you only see what you want to see, and ain't nobody can tell you different. Like she probably was too far in to feel like you ain't about to ruin my fairy tale. If he that was, so be it. So yeah, people don't like criticism or advice, and yeah, I mean, I was like that too. I remember in grad school, I was talking to a guy, and my mom was asking me about him. Well, have you seen his Facebook? I'm like, no. See, this was when Facebook was popping. You could find a lot of stuff on there. I'm like, no, I didn't. I'm not worried about his social media, because he could have had a girlfriend or whatever, and I just don't know. And I'm like, no, I don't. Because I feel like I didn't want to know. If he got a girlfriend, I don't want to know. I just want it to be about me and my needs and him. I don't want to know nothing contrary to that. So, and my mom's just like, okay, all right, Cinquetta, it's not that serious. But it'd be like that because you don't want nobody to tell you nothing when you really, really like somebody. So I get it. If they man or woman are thinking about getting married, take time to know each wants and needs. Make sure both have the same goals. I agree. That is wisdom. Yeah, like make sure we're going in the same direction. I agree with that. I really do. Because I feel like that's a part of the problem too. Like people be on two different type times. When God didn't call you to everybody. It's just kind of how I feel. But let's see here. Oh, Misha, you said for real, for real. I don't know what part I was talking about at that time. I know I'm like getting down to these things late. So Linda said, in the state of Texas, you have to take premarital counseling in classes before they even issue you a marriage license. Interesting. I didn't know that was a law. I thought, you hear about that, but I thought that happens in church. Like, like the pastor won't officiate the wedding without premarital counseling in classes before. Let me get your opinion on this. And if y'all get a chance, y'all should watch this video because I thought it was pretty interesting. So a wife found out that, okay, here it is. I overheard my husband say I'm not attractive. And I'm bringing this up because, Linda, when you said premarital counseling and classes before they even issue a marriage license, because that is true. Like sometimes you find out that like maybe y'all really not that compatible through counseling and through premarital counseling classes. And I bring it up because this lady, she was saying how she just found this out and they just had her honeymoon, and she overheard her husband talking on the phone with his friends saying like, oh, how was the honeymoon? Was you able to, perform? And because she not like your exes, and your exes were light skinned and slim, and she like literally like talking about her like a dog. And the wife felt so bad that she was blaming herself. And she was like, I wish I never would have turned around to go back into the house. I wish I never heard that. But it's like, I know you wish that, but in the long run, you will be happier that you know it now and you can kind of get out. I know you're a newlywed. I know that like y'all just had the wedding and everybody liked y'all pictures. But I feel like that's better to find out now than later on, right? So it just made me think of the premarital counseling. Like, it's better to find out like incompatibilities sooner rather than later. So that's kind of why I brought that up. But this is a video when y'all get a chance. I overheard my husband say I'm not attractive. And this was posted on the Dr. John Delaney show. I never heard of him, but I just seen the video come up. But it was very interesting. So, yeah, do the premarital counseling classes. Do talk to your family and friends and have them vet the person and see what they feel about the guy. You know, these are good dues to do when you're dating before you get too deep in it. So Stay Tuned Review said, when it comes to degrees, the issue in our community are twofold. Typically, women who marry and have 2 degrees don't pay most of the bills. And those that have the degrees spend 6+ years getting them. Okay, yeah. So sometimes let me not say I'm confused, but I feel like sometimes men be moving the goalposts. It's almost like y'all say y'all don't want gold diggers. So women go and get the degrees or whatever, you know, so they are working for themselves. But then once they work for themselves and they're, you know, they don't need necessarily your finances to make it. Now it's like, oh, you had too many degrees. You're not attractive, you know. So it's almost like that contradictory stuff just kind of let me know, whatever. Do you? And that's probably for both men and women. Like, just do you and do you to the fullest, your best of your abilities, you know? Don't do anything for a man or because you want to be more desirable to a woman. Like, be the best version of yourself for you. If you want to become more educated, by all means do that, you know, for you, because it just keep changing. and like we were just saying, like, so how come that's the case in our community and not other communities? You know what I mean? Like, even when we go out in everyday life, we see women, doctors, and things like that, and they're married, and it took them just as long to get degrees. So, yeah, I just can't. So Maria said, I say that because it's so different now. Very true. It really is. The only, and that's the thing too. I don't like when people be trying to put pressure people into marriage. Like, it is different now. And that's what I feel like our parents' generation and their grandparents' generation don't understand. They not dealing with the same things we dealing with. You know, it was even the stuff this generation after us is doing. Remember, it was a time where you respected your elders or whatever. But I'm hearing like it's been violence against old people and stuff like that. Just no respect. Like, and who raising these people? That's like our generation. So it's a different time. You're right. You definitely have to vet. You definitely have to take your time. No rush. Get a background check if you need to. You know, you got to know who these people are. Okay, Linda. He was already stable. Yep. He was a veteran and was in the police academy. See, yep. Those were the things in Marrying Kind. They're gonna already had that in place. I feel like sometimes we may try to intercept that, or we unintentionally may intercept that. We didn't know, but yep. Marriage is 50-50 give and take. Drop mic. That's what it is. You have to work at every day is a learning experience. It really is. And see, that I like to hear. That is real. Because, like I said, if you have Disney telling, if you have these movies telling, it just look like a romantic comedy and it's gonna be like all fun, rainbows and butterflies and stuff like that. But that's not realistic. It's literally 2 people merging as one. So it may be hard, like, you know, you giving up the way that you used to think and him giving up the way he used to think. Y'all know I like Bill Winston. He's like a pastor or whatever out of the Chicago area. And I have his audiobook, and he was saying when he first got married, he would think to his wife, like, she don't cook like how my mom cooked. And then he had to remember, like, I'm not at my mama's house no more. You know, now that I'm married, we're creating our new normal. Like we're creating our system, you know, like it. So stop trying to nitpick this woman and expect her to live up to like how your mom was, and just love her for who she is and adjust to your new normal, you know? So I feel like that was helpful information. Um Nobody's going to be perfect, but or I don't want to say nobody's perfect. Don't be trying to bring people up to your expectations. Like let them be who they are, you know? And that's what you marry. Race plays a lot into it. Linda, can we talk about it? That's how come I have this book. Um, y'all may have heard of it. I didn't hear about it till like later on, but y'all may have maybe seen it in passing. But let me share my screen. Have y'all heard of this book? Is Marriage for White People? How the African American Marriage Decline Affects Everyone by Ralph Richards Banks. And he's a black man, and he's married to a black woman. But he's talking about how black women are the most, like, what is it? It's a real term, but basically black women date outside of their race the least, and kind of at our detriment, because it may not be, or we'll talk about like what we're talking about now. There may not be a lot of marrying kind men in our community, so we are like kind of putting ourselves in a box. Yes, there's a lot of black men in our community that are, but not enough to go around, kind of thing. So, expand your options, kind of thing. Get somebody that, like Linda was saying, y'all got the same goal. Like his family, his culture does see the value in marriage, kind of thing. And that could be it too. Like some of us grew up or came from single family households, so we're more cynical. And that was one of the things I learned, that if the man if the man's parents divorced when he was younger, he's less likely to marry, versus if the man's parents divorced when they were older, when they were older kids or whatever. But if his parents got divorced when he was young, it just may have really changed the way he looks at love and relationships, kind of thing. So that is something to ask and to talk about. See, a lot of things we can kind of solve or figure out if we ask questions based off of people's childhood and upbringing. That sheds a lot of stuff, more so than how much they make. Because sometimes, like, a psychopath can make a lot of money. Not saying money isn't a factor, but ask about his upbringing, how he used to live. My dad would tell me to ask my mom. My dad would tell me to ask my mom what she thinks about my partner. So, are you saying like your dad would like ask your mom what he thinks, or he wanted you to get your mom's perspective on the guy you were dating? My sis got married in the 70s, and she just doesn't realize how much dating has changed. Yeah, it's a completely, you're right. They don't understand, because first of all, they didn't come across, they ain't live in those social media times. This is a different ball game. They don't know nothing about no online dating, because it be married men still on websites, online dating profiles. See, it's different temptations. See that you're right. They don't live in the time where they had social media and OnlyFans accounts and in the internet. Like they don't. It really is different. You literally got to be eye on the tiger, like strategic in this thing, because people is weird nowadays. You really do have to vet. Okay, he wants me to ask my mom instead of him. No, I feel like my dad is the same way, but no, dads need to like kind of like let us know, because that's the thing. You know how they be like, women can't give advice about dating and relationship. You know what I mean? Like for the most part, women kind of listen to other men. That's how come like Steve Harvey is highly successful. You know, like that's how come it seems like men are dominating the relationship gender, like relationship industry and that kind of, you know, they're dominating that space because women are just mostly like listening to men. That's how come I feel like Derek Jackson had got very popular, because if y'all really go back and listen to his stuff, I really didn't understand what the hype was. But women also listen to attractive men. Oops, forgot. So I feel like a lot of women were just on his thing because of how he looked or whatever, his body and stuff. But he really never said nothing that was very mind explosive to me. If I came across this video on like my feed, you know, your homepage of YouTube, and I click on it, I would get so much from the women. That's why I'm like, it's a lot of knowledge within us as we share stories about dating. I feel like men can only tell us from their kind of perspective, but they don't really know because they ain't out here dating. Like, well, maybe, I mean, they're not out here dating men like we are. Like, you know what I mean? We're the one that's going out on these dates with men. So I feel like there's only so much you can tell me because you're not actually in the ground on the, you know, dating men, unless you are, you know, and that's a possibility too. Like you're actually giving me firsthand experience because you're dating men like me, but you know, I think not. So I feel like we should be listening to each other more, talking about our experiences, and that's exactly what I got from Derek Jackson's video. I would go straight down to the comments. I'll be like listening to women tell their story. I'm like, dang, right on, sis. Okay, I got you. You know, it was I want more of that, because I really feel like we can really dominate this game. We can really help each other based off of our experience and stories or whatever, because we out here dating these men. So on this season of Married at First Sight, a woman named Stasia is 37. She's beautiful, has multiple degrees, and spent her early young adult years securing a bag. Totally her right, but men in her age range date younger. This is true, but why wouldn't she should just date somebody that is a little older as well? Because as we seen in this article, men, well, people divorce, a lot of people are divorcing over 50 now, over the age of 50. So she will be young to this 50-year-old. You know, it's like you just gotta know your market kind of thing. Because again, sometimes, well, she's at the right age to get married or whatever. But sometimes men that are younger than that, they're not even in the space to get married. So it's still a chance for her. And guess what else I learned in this article? Also, I was surprised, but it said men who are divorced are more likely to remarry than men that, let's use 50 for example. If you so happen to meet a man that's like 50 and has never gotten married, and you meet another man that is 50 and has been through a divorce, you are more likely, the man that has been married before is more likely to marry you than the man that's never been married. And I'm like, dang, that's interesting. I would have never thought. Like, I just automatically would assume that the man that never married would want to marry at that age, but it's actually the opposite. And probably because he knows the benefits in marriage. Like, oh my God, give me a wife again, because this single life is for the birds kind of thing. So yeah, I feel like that lady, Stassi, she could just see, that's how they need me on the show. As a marriage expert, I'm like, okay, we want to maybe get her up. Who is she dating? How old is the guy? And is he established? Because we need to talk about that. If she's a breadwinner, that's not going to work. I read a statistic. Men that when women make more in a relationship or marriage, 15%, they're more likely to divorce, more likely to cheat, 15%, something like that. But that's not a good kind of dynamic. So I wonder who did they match her up with? Please let it be somebody that's on her level or higher. Do not put her with somebody that's still trying to figure it out, a free spirit or soul, because we think they're going to bounce each other out. Absolutely not. Get her with somebody that's older, again, maybe has been divorced and knows what it's like to be married, kind of thing. That's who that lady need to be with. And guess what? I'm glad you brought up 37. I learned that men still think they're young at 40. And I feel like that's fine. But they said like sometimes the men that haven't married, when they get to 40, they start thinking about now like getting married, having kids because they want to be young enough to still play baseball and do the male bonding thing. I'm like, that men be thinking they're young forever, you know? But not to say 40 is old or anything, but when I read that, I'm like, this is funny to me. Hold on, I probably could find it. Let me share my screen again. Oh, that's too teeny. Okay. Why the fine feature? Oh, there we go. 40. Oh, and that was another thing I learned. Men have a biological clock as well, like women, but it's on a different time, like a different like pattern or path. So their biological clock starts ticking, or basically they need to have things established first. You know, no matter how long that takes, they're gonna want that stuff in place before they start, dating, seriously dating. So I thought that was interesting to know. 40. Oh, see, I told y'all if a man over the age of 40 has been married before, he is more likely to marry than a 40-year-old man who has never been married. But see, but that's not what I wanted to show y'all. I wanted to show you another thing. Okay, it must have been this one. Let's see. I know another word I'm looking for. Bonding. I remember seeing it. Okay, here. Okay. Men have biological clocks. They want to be young enough to teach their sons to fish and play ball and to do male bonding things. But they literally said like 40. I'm like, what? I remember seeing that number. Okay, and here's the other one. This is where bad investments. There is a possible drawback to dating a man aged 40 or over. Many men at that age begin to look at women in marriage as a poor financial investment. Not even that old. They be thinking that now. And they be like 20 something. There's no other way of putting it. When you ask them why they're not married, they tell you they spent most of their lives building a nest egg and they're not about to share it with some babe. In our interviews, they often use such derogatory terms when speaking of women. Red flag. They talk as though a woman's only interest in men is what she can get out of him. The irony is that many of the men who spoke this way really didn't have all that much anyway. Today, many of the women whom these men think are after their money earn far more than they do. If a man talks of marriage as a financial game in which women are out to make their fortune, don't just walk away, run. Such men are hardly ever going to be the marrying kind. So that just like really opened my eye, and that's really true because, like they said, it's not tricking if you got it. I just feel like most of the time it's an issue if the man just really don't have it like that. Because men that got it to spend don't really care. You know, you're a man, you're going to get it back again. I feel the same way about like celebrity women or women that date in the spotlight. You bag one rapper, you could bag another one. You don't need to stay in a bad relationship. You bag one NBA basketball player, you can bag another one. It just is what it is. You lose your money in divorce, you can build it up again. That's what life is made of, like challenges and setbacks. You push forward. Okay, like you just got to. Well, I can't cry about it. No. Did I want this to happen? Does anybody really want to lose their money? No, but maybe it happened for a reason, to build a better, stronger version of yourself. So I feel like, yeah. So I was glad that article said that. So now when I hear men say things like that, I know that, like, yeah, he just may not have that much money like that. So it's fine. Let's see. Derek Jackson also pandered to women and failed to hold them accountable in issues that call for it. Steve Harvey was the same, and it's a proven business. It really is. It's money in telling women what to do and how to do it, and da 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 da, knowing that they don't be like going by that same advice. And I'm glad you said Derek Jackson be pandering to women, because I did feel that way. Like, I remember, did I read, or he got a book or something? It was just kind of cringe to me. He was saying like something like stretch marks are sexy, or a real man would love you for that. And I'm not saying that he's not right, but I feel like I just didn't like that. Like, you're trying to, like you said, like you're trying to, like, like, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm not trying to say like some men may not find like flaws in a woman, or not even say it's a flaw, but like those kind of things attractive. But it's like, I don't need you to say that. It's almost like saying like, I don't know, but I didn't like how he pandered to, I can kind of see where y'all coming from when y'all say that, because he would say things that just would rub me the wrong way in a way. But it was fine. I actually feel like that is kind of best. I feel like it's not up to men to hold women accountable, just like it's not up to women to hold men accountable in a way. Like, just give the advice, give the what you need to say, and that's it. The accountability is always going to come from that person. If the woman don't feel like she's wrong, she's not going to change, no matter if a man is saying it or not. You know what I mean? For the most part, she'll just double down. The same thing with men. They'll just double down. If anything, I feel like women can hold other women accountable. You know what I mean? Like, I be seeing a lot of bogus stuff online that I be like, dang, it's making womanhood look bad. But yeah, so I feel like I could speak to another woman about holding them accountable, but I feel like it's not really a man's place to do that unless y'all in a relationship and y'all married, kind of thing. But then again, I don't know. Like, accountable, I don't know. By that time, I feel like you should kind of know right from wrong, kind of thing. Yes, a background check is a must. I agree. I didn't think about it before, but now I do. She is matched with Nate. He's 34, younger, got his own money, but he values looks and sex at the top of his needs for marriage. Meanwhile, she values earning potential and willingness to get on her program. How pretty is she? Does she match his aesthetics? Because did you what year did you start reviewing Married at First Sight? Because attractiveness is important, because we done seen it played out. I don't know if you was reviewing Married at First Sight when Paige and Chris was on the show, but like, yeah, Chris went about it totally wrong. But does that lady that's 37, this man that's 34, that's kind of already bad. I don't like that match, but whatever. It would. Did he find her attractive? Because if not, I'm kind of scared for her. Hold on, let's Google it real quick. Let me see if I see a little picture or something. See, it'll be like this video I was talking about, how the wife found out that her husband didn't find her attractive, and they just left her Hollywood. Stassi, 37, Married at First Sight. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh, they're a match. I think they look cute together. Okay, hold on. Okay. They look like aesthetically equal. Do he find her fine? Yeah, she's pretty. I think they will work out. But I don't quite like that he's 30. I don't like how he's younger than her. But he fits in our age range. He fits in it. See, the age of commitment, 28 to 33. He's a little older, 34. Oh, it may work. It may work. Yeah. I need to hear like more about this. But they look cute together. Okay. I think it may be a match. I'm not that worried no more. Yes, I had the book. You do, so you have. I'm talking about is white people for marriage. Me too, girl. Because I like to see statistics and facts. When I was growing up, we didn't find out about social media. Right. My introduction to social media was Facebook. That was the first thing. And I feel like it was around the time when I went to college. So 2009. Yeah, 2009. Yep, I was coming out of high school and was going to college. So, look at all these ads. Yes, so that was my first introduction to social media. So I'm not a millennial, or what's the generation like that's way after us that only knows technology, only knows the internet. Like, I'm not that generation. I still know both. I know life without the internet and I know life with it. Remember how back in the day when you would go to the mall and stuff, you had to meet up at a certain time. You couldn't just text somebody or call them, and like you really had to like wait and pay attention kind of thing. So she would make my top 10 most beautiful wives in the show history. Chris from ATL would approve of her. Yeah, he would. Cause she's like, I don't want to say she's like, I don't, you know what I mean? But I know that's how most men, put lighter skinned women or exotic women on a pedestal. But then I feel like that's interesting. Like, what do you feel about your own looks or whatever? Like if you don't find your culture counterpart attractive. So like Chris is brown. Why don't you not find like someone that looks like the female version of you attractive? Do you not find you attractive? Like I just wonder about that sometimes. But yeah. But she is pretty. I want to see more pictures of her. But you're scaring me with their age gap. Let's see how they end. Oh, they're cute. And she reminds me of Hoops from Flavor of Love. Like, and see, okay, look now, stay tuned reviews. She's 37, but she looked like she could be 27. She looks like 10 years younger than what she is. She's cute. She's in shape. Nice hair. Yeah. So I don't know if Misha is still in here, but y'all, Misha, she got a YouTube channel too. She does reviews, and for some reason, like her latest video title, this is her latest video title about this couple just makes me holler. Hold on, I'm about to hold on. Show y'all. I'm like, oh my gosh. Every time I see it. Oh God, he's celibate. Like that makes me laugh. Like every time, and then the girl face. Hold on, let me show y'all. Isn't that something? Like the same thing how women say, like, oh, he be all on me. I don't want somebody that's like, oh, and she finally. Well, I don't know. I haven't really watched this season, but like, why this thumbnail makes me laugh? Cause I could just feel like I could hear her saying that in that scene kind of thing. But isn't that good? Wouldn't you not want your husband to, or your fiance to be practicing abstinence? Because one thing I feel like I believe is true, is another woman I watch on YouTube, Anointed Fire. She was saying how if a man doesn't know how to be like faithful before marriage, he's not going to do it in a marriage. Nothing's really going to change. So I feel like that is like a good thing. Like when you want your man to be practicing celibacy, even if it was a month, like, you know, you can see that he will discipline himself, because there's going to be times where y'all may not be able to be intimate with each other. You could be out of town for a week. He could be out of town for a week. You may be resting after just having a baby kind of thing. So I'm gonna have to watch that video, Misha. Y'all need to let me know what y'all think of the video as well. But yeah, so did you review this? Were you reviewing the show on YouTube when Chris and Paige was on it? Because I would like to hear what you got to say. And see, that's the thing too. I feel like Paige was pretty. Like, she's chocolate, brown skin, in shape. What's wrong with her? So it do make me feel like colorism. You know what I mean? Like, because what's wrong with her? If she was in a different shade, now she's fine. And I feel like that's not right. You have your preferences, but at least try to get to know the woman, you know? But then again, I guess I get it. I guess I didn't like the way Chris was going about it. And it's just like, whoa. You could tell she really wanted to be married regardless, because she just kind of let it slide most of the time. He finds her fine. The minister told her family at the wedding that he's a freak in the sheets. Oh my gosh. Stuff like that be making me cringe. It'd be like, I don't need to know that. Like, that's how come, like, I was reading this article about how men that send pictures of themselves, they don't do what they don't do to women what y'all think they do. You know what I mean? It's just like, kind of like, why are you doing? Why'd you send this to me? It's not making me happy. Kind of like when Omarion was eating that watermelon during verses. Like, it was very much cringe. Like, you don't need to say that. Like, let me find out. Let me get to know you first. Like, I don't know. That's not like a selling point. But then again, I get it. Sometimes how women want men to be, and maybe how like he's saying that because that's what he values maybe in a woman. So it's kind of like, you know, like y'all was saying before, men be saying before, like, women think men value in them what they bring to the table, kind of like, you know what I mean? So sometimes women may think like, all right, men provide stability and stuff like that, so let me be stable, and thinking that a man will appreciate that or find that attractive, and they won't. And it's the same thing with a man. Like, you saying that you're a freak in the sheets and stuff like that, that's something you probably will find attractive in a woman, but women don't want to hear that, because, you know, for most women it's mental. You know what I mean? Like, stimulate your mind, Craig. Like, so, you know, like, it's more so that. So it's not really giving what it's supposed to give. Same thing, like I said, with Omarion. You know, Omarion is very handsome, but why is you trying to simulate that on stage? I don't know, but I don't think it's giving what you intended for it to give, because I'm like kind of cringe right now, and I don't appreciate this display, you know? So yeah. Yep. Gen Z. That's the generation that only knows technology, right? They know nothing but Facebook, nothing but Instagram, social media, TikTok kind of thing. Yep, Generation Z. Yep, but this millennial generation, we know both. We could do both. Get you a girl that can do both. I'm a boomer. We didn't have Walkmans. Really? Okay. I remember Walkman. Yeah, they look like these, like with the little headphones and you plug them in kind of thing. Remember the iPod? I had an iPod, but I had a little iPod Nano, the little skinny one in college. Now those are obsolete because now your phone can do it all. Yeah, it's just crazy how times be changing. She's been single for 5 years and turned guys down solely because they gave an unfavorable answer to her first date question about their credit score. Interesting. Women don't want to marry a man that can't give them premium pickle tickle or be stingy with giving her the beefcake. Justin should have lied to her when she asked. Okay, I didn't start the video reviews until the Houston season, but I watched Married at First Sight. Really? I remember another show. I remember being in college when Married at First Sight came out. No, I graduated. I had graduated. My sisters were in college by this time. And I remember we like kind of binge watched it because it was something you never seen before. Like, what? These people are getting married and it's the first time they're ever meeting each other. Like, I literally remember where I was coming across Married at First Sight. And I remember the moment I came across Flavor of Love. I was like in my room one day and it just came on, like, because I don't remember seeing any previews or lead up about it. Just one day I was watching VH1 and it came on and it was good. And I was watching it week after week. And then me and my friend at the time, we went to middle school together and then we both went to two separate high schools. And one time I was talking to her, I'm like, I'm watching this show. It's called Flavor of Love. Is real interesting. She was like, I watched that too. And I was like, oh my gosh, me too. Like, how do you like it? Like, I literally can remember those times because it was something that we did not see before. Like, for me, I feel like Flavor of Love opened the door for all the reality TV shows that we see nowadays. You know what I mean? From even to the Housewives, even though it's a different kind of like ensemble cast, you never seen nothing like that before. That was so entertaining. I really feel like that was a turn of reality TV, like where everybody was doing reality TV to the point where I don't even really watch sitcom things anymore, except for like old stuff on Netflix. Like I watch a lot of old episodes of Moesha and Sister, but like I literally don't watch like sitcom shows or scripted shows. Like if I'm gonna watch something, I'll probably watch a reality TV show. I think that's just great. Like it literally, I really remember the switch. I feel like an old person. You know how your parents be telling you like stuff, like stories from their time and era? I feel that way about myself now. Like back in my day, we used to watch Flavor of Love. Now I don't know what this new stuff they got on the TV now. But yep, I remember Married at First Sight, the first season, but I didn't keep up with it or whatever. But I can't believe you've been watching it since the second season. That has been a minute. That was a long time ago. If you was keeping it up. Well, I guess I just feel like I'm such a grandma. I really feel like I don't want to know. I just want to buy, because it really is mental. I mean, it just is. So, well, for me, but I would not want to know. I would want to see how we vibe conversation wise, kind of thing, if we get along on that tight time. But I got something for you to watch. You know, I always got stuff for people to watch. You know I do. Because this reminds me of this situation. Because Enqueta always be watching stuff. Paris Milan. And I got to finish this video. But, dad impregnates his own daughter. You know what? I just sometimes can't. You know, every time we on like the internet, it's always something. All right, let me share my screen again. So, I started watching this video. Mama is Always Right. The tragic last days of Vaughn McCrae. So basically, this lady, it was a husband and wife or whatever, and the husband was going through all these health ailments and stuff like that. You know, she's bringing them back and forth to the hospital, and they showed her her little live stream, like something like this, and she was talking about like, it's been so long since I got some D, and isn't that crazy, y'all? Like, she's telling her audience this, and I'm like, wow, your husband is like in the hospital. Like, that's all you can think of. But see, that's how come I know people be saying vows just to say them. vows is for better or for worse, sickness and poor, you know what I mean? Sickness and health. So I just couldn't believe that like your husband is in like in a coma right now, and that's what you're thinking about. Like I understand people have their needs, but like again, self-sacrifice. You now I see it. It's okay, guys. It's okay to be skeptical because now I see it for myself. For her to say something like that rubbed me the wrong way because it's like, sis, why are you thinking about that? And your husband is in it's like kind of a life or death like situation. You shouldn't even be thinking about your needs right now. Like you're not in the hospital, so go somewhere. But yeah, just watching you marry. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, so that's how come I'm just like, dang, like that's really how like people be asking that stuff. But it's okay. You can that's their thing. So who am I? And that's interesting. So she would just cut them off because their credit score. I don't know. I feel like that may be a good. No, it's not a good thing to cut them off. It reminds me. Remember that show with Chili once, and she had that long list of what she wanted in a man. It kind of gives. It's kind of giving me those kind of vibes. Like he can't have poor. He can't this. Can't that. And it's like, oh my gosh. And she said something like that too. Like he must be packing. Like who says that? You can think it, but I don't know. I just would not want to say that. Walkmans went through batteries like Popeyes goes through chicken. Really? Did I? Yeah, I guess. I don't really remember like that. I kind of came in like slightly a little after that. I'm the Furby generation, the little like remember them Gigapet generation, like that's my generation, the Nickelodeon Nick kids, that's me right there, like the 90s baby, like that's my. So I don't really remember Walkmans like that. It was like when I started listening to Walkmans and stuff, like was a turn when like iPods and stuff was coming out. So I ain't really had to be with the Walkmans for too long after that. They will make a good couple. You talking about Stassi and Nate? I think so too. They're definitely looks compatible. I just don't really like the age thing per se. An interesting spinoff to Married at First Sight was a 7-year switch where couples exchange spouses and live together for a few weeks. How was that? How was that? Because I'm not trying to switch off my partner. If my partner better not want to switch off me because he may not get me back. The other man may fall in love. So be careful. Do you really want to do that? I know the man feel like he may want to do that. The husband. Do you really want to do that? Okay. But I was like, I understand. But actually, I thought that's what makes a good relationship when y'all kind of get in a nice flow. And it can be boring. Why do we put these high expectations on love? What's wrong with like it being like comfortable and lazy and what's wrong with that? And being boring at times. I don't know. I don't see what's wrong with that. But I guess everybody's different. I'm saying that now, but who knows how I feel later. But only because I feel like I'm my own best friend. Like I just really be having like a really good time with myself. So I think it's because of how I grew up. My mom said when I was a baby, I would play by myself. I'll pull out the pots and pans and just play by myself. I remember that used to be on my report cards. Works well independently. So literally, I feel like, I don't know, somebody don't want to be bothered. Or no, I say like it don't have to be all explosive for me, for real. Like sometimes because of what I seen on TV, I thought that's how love was. But like deep down inside, like I don't know. I like steadiness, kind of. Like think it should kind of be nice. Like it should be nice and smooth for the most part. A pattern or something like that's okay. I like consistency. So yeah, I just go and read a book or whatever and stuff like that. I actually want to encourage my husband to go out with the boys and the friends so I can have me time. Like, I really be needing that. Like, it is totally okay. I'd be doing a lot of stuff by myself. You want to go? Go. Now I got the house to myself. Whew. So, yeah. Who is doing the reviews on The Bachelorette? Oh, you hear that? Stay tuned, reviews. We need somebody to do the reviews on The Bachelorette. I didn't know that was on. Hold on. The Bachelorette 2022. I didn't even know this was out, Linda. Oh my gosh, it says 4 days ago. Look at you putting us on. Oh my gosh, how was the internet? Like, it just took a while to come up, so I hope it's not taking a while on y'all end to come up too. Interesting. I wonder if can I play the trailer without any copyright strikes? Sometimes I don't know how that works. So, Linda, I feel like I never got into any of the bachelors or the bachelorettes. I don't know why. I just never did. I want to see what people are saying. Okay, so it's coming on Mondays at 8. Okay, stay tuned, reviews. We may need to see you. Do some reviews. I want to read the comments. I want to see how people are feeling about this show. The producers definitely set these women up for disaster. It's quite inevitable. One falls for a guy who is more invested in the other. In so doing, they gave more power to the guys instead of the actual bachelorettes. I hope it works out for them both, though. Interesting. Okay, I'm going to go back and watch the trailer. Unpopular opinion. This is undoubtedly going to get messy, but these women can weather the storm 100%. Interesting. Oh my gosh, you need to watch this Stay Tuned review. They're talking about switching partners. Dang, people be stay switching partners. That's like weird to me. I feel like when you really like somebody, you don't really want to be with nobody else. Like, I would not want to switch nobody. You know what? But if it came down to that, it may be time to. And if both parties agree, it may be time to maybe go our separate ways, kind of thing. That's how come I learned a lot from Sister Wives. The women, you would notice that they would be in tears because they did not like the fact that their husbands was going out with another woman, and respectfully so. Like, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't not be upset about that? You know. So it's messed up. But that's when I learned, like, in those situations, and maybe time, like, if somebody wants to date some, go ahead and free yourself. It's no big deal. We had transitioner radios, never enough batteries. Oh, wow. Yes, I watched those shows. I never watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, but yeah, I watched the other ones that be on VH1. Remember, Ray J had a show, For the Love of Ray J, Real and Chance, I Love New York. Like, those was a contestant kind of shows I would watch. Like, that had a dating theme to it. There was a show called White Swap. Now, that was good. Where, like, the whites would kind of switch and they would have the rules and stuff like that. That was good. Maria, that was good. White Swap was really good. They got like some clips sometimes. I remember I was binge watching them on YouTube. I was just watching one after the other. I actually do like White Swap, right? It was just about like the moms would like go and talk. White Swap was the God Warrior, right? Right, hold on. That lady that was snapping, she said, "I don't want this money. Get it out." She's dark-sided. That's White Swap, right? White Swap. I think it was this that made me want to watch the show. Oh, I said it wrong. I said it wrong. This is trading spouses. Oh my gosh. I'm getting them all mixed up. Hold on. Okay. Wife swap. And let me see kind of what that looks like. Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about, but I never watched this. I used to watch. I was binge watching old episodes of Trading Spouses. I got all the shows all mixed up. What's Wife Swap about? Is it basically the same thing where like the moms go away and try to like raise a family kind of thing? Okay, I gotta look at these. Needs to check out the Upshaws with Mike Epps and Wanda Sykes on Netflix. So about the Upshaws, I feel like I couldn't really get into it like that. I started to, but I just didn't. It didn't capture me in the first episode. I don't know, I'm one of those people that has to capture me. Just like you know how everybody liked Breaking Bad, like you know a couple years ago that show was all the rage. I couldn't get into it. I actually fell asleep on it. So hey, Stay Tuned Reviews, you're back. Okay, we were asking, Linda was asking who is doing the reviews on The Bachelorette. Can we count on you to do the reviews of Bachelorette? Like, is that in your umbrella of shows to review? Like, we got is it you? Is it you who want to do the reviews of Bachelorette? So, you know, if so, let us know. Oh, that rhymed. Albert Elementary is a great scripted show. I thought it was okay. You're saying a lot to please me, right? I thought it was okay. It would be a show I will watch, but if like absolutely nothing was on kind of thing, I would watch Albert Elementary, but I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, let me watch it kind of thing. It's like that kind of show. I'm weird. I feel like when I like something, I'll watch it over again. Like when Netflix had Prison Break, that was my show. I would just watch old episodes again, even though I already seen it. Like I don't know. I'm very picky about certain things. Let me see what else is scripted that I kind of watch. Y'all know I watch Judge Judy, but Judge Judy not scripted. If I'm like right by myself kind of thing, that's usually what I turn on. Judge Judy to kind of like just unwind, kind of. I'll probably watch like that's my go-to show. But yep, so continue watching my Netflix. It's Sister, Moesha, The Parkers, and Girlfriends. Like I just literally will watch stuff over again. I'm such a granny. I haven't watched anything new or anything trending. I watched Candy on Hulu. You know the show with Jessica Biel about that like true real story about the lady Candace Montgomery that now listen to this that exed the man's wife that she was having an affair with. So Candy was married and so was the man that she was having an affair with. But Candy gonna like ex off his wife. Why? Y'all both are cheating and you already got a husband. I don't understand. And guess what? She got away with it. Oops, darn, I mean to tell y'all because y'all may have not seen or heard about it, but Jessica Biel played that. Well, let me show you how Jessica Biel was looking. Jessica Biel played that role. She like even looked like one of them 70 mom like ladies. Like she played this role. She had the accent down and everything. Look at her. She's like that's literally how them 70s people used to look. Oh my gosh. So I feel like maybe that was the last scripted thing I seen. Oh, see, look, there go the real Candy, and there go the actress Candy, and it was very, I guess, sensational back in the day because no one would believe that a woman that size, that tiny, would be able to do something so heinous. They thought it was an axe, an axe, what I mean, person on the loose. They just simply did not believe that it was a woman that did this, that carried out this crime. So I feel like maybe that's the last thing I watched that was scripted, and I feel like that came back out in April or May. you know, when did Candy come on? Let's see. Yeah, May 9th. So it's been a while, y'all. So y'all give me some more show ideas. I'll only watch to see who would actually participate. The wives would go live with go live with another family for 2 weeks. First week it was the wife that lived their rules. Second week the visiting wife. Okay, yes, that's just like trading spouses. Remember this? Remember this lady? This lady, she was going off. Like, and then right if at the end, I don't know if I don't know if white swap is like trading spouses, but doing the end they get like a cash prize. So in the end of this, they got the money, and then the mom was just so mad, like, I don't want this evil money. And she just went off. So you got 1.6 million views. But I feel like trading spouses and white swap, they sound like really similar. I'll consider The Bachelorette, Ready to Love, and Naked and Afraid Frozen are coming up. I try to stick to 3 to 4 shows every 4 months. Okay. Well, can you just do a little overview of episode 1 of The Bachelorette or something? Just check it out to see if it's something that's worth reviewing, maybe for us. Can you do that for me and Linda? Just let us know. Did you watch Commit or Quit? No. Let me tell you, so it's weird. Y'all know I got my second YouTube channel because I noticed that if I talk about anything else other than Love and Marriage Huntsville, my videos will not get views. But I still be wanting to talk about other stuff. So my other YouTube channel, Cinquetta Talks, I talk about other reality TV shows that I'd be interested in. And my most popular videos on that channel came from me talking about Love and Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop Edition, and also Basketball Wives. YouTube is you just never know what the algorithm is going to like. So for people like me that's trying to figure out their niche or whatever, starting out, I feel like anybody that wants to start out doing YouTube but don't know what they want to talk about, or they have multiple interests, do them all. Do videos on all of them, because you just don't know what I'm not gonna say you don't know, but for the people that's like me, that has, like I said, has a lot of interest, talk about everything. And I feel like the algorithm will tell you, or that's kind of how I grew my channel, was just letting the algorithm be the judge for me. What I seen resonated with people the most, the content, that's what I stuck with, which was Love and Marriage Huntsville. So, I said all that to say, I review other shows on my second channel, and like I said, that channel grew because of that Love and Hip Hop, Love and Marriage boot camp thing, and that's only because I was angry. Because I couldn't believe, y'all probably don't watch Love and Hip Hop, but I couldn't believe that the same couple that was on Love and Marriage, that was on Love and Hip Hop, that had all this drama and tension, were still messing with each other. And to come to find out they were messing with each other for on and off for 10 years. And you know who was really the one that was mostly on? The woman. So Mariah Lynn. And in those on and off times, she never met his mom. Like, stuff like that. Be like, I gotta speak up. Like, I even did research on that. I said, did you know in 10 years, she could have become a doctor? In 10 years, she could have traveled around the world twice? Like, I was like looking up stuff that you can do in a year. And the fact that, like, you know what I mean, she was with this guy for 10 years with no real commitment just was like, woe to me. And like how he kind of embarrassed her on Love and Hip Hop, I just couldn't believe that they were really on this show, this new show, trying to work on their relationship. but it resonated with people because that's what kind of grew that channel. That, and like I said, now as of late is my basketball wives content. So those are the shows I talk about on there, and it's just like that. I don't. It's interesting how YouTube works. So yeah, I didn't watch Commit or Quit. Was that on OWN too? And I don't know. I seen Ready to Love previews, but I'm gonna watch it. My show is Bell Collective. I know you ain't gonna review that, but that's my show. Like sometimes I feel like, I don't know, stay tuned reviews. Do you feel like some people be expecting you to talk about everything? I'm like, everything don't resonate with me where I feel like I need to talk about it, you know? Like, oh, you should talk about this, you talk about, no, I shouldn't. Like I let other that sometimes not because other YouTubers are doing it, it's just like I don't, that's not something that's resonating with me. Like it gotta resonate with me. And surprisingly, I didn't think Love and Marriage Huntsville was gonna do that, but it wasn't until I guess I felt like I was able to talk about Melody and had a bounce back after a breakup. And a divorce is totally different than a breakup, but I felt like I found my lane right there, you know? Cause yeah. Would you suggest using your primary channel just for TV show reviews and creating a secondary channel for other endeavors? Yes, I would. I remember I was watching this bomb video that just really, really helped me, and that's when I was able to, everything clicked. Did it come from my people at vidIQ? Let me look it up real quick. But I would suggest that they were just like, if I was starting YouTube today, I would do it this way. And they said, I would pick something specific and stick with it. And then that's what I did, because if you look kind of back, you can see I was talking about everything. But what got the most views was Love and Marriage Huntsville, and I just focused on that. And I never forget, like the season was ending, so I'm like, dang, what I'm gonna talk about? And then that's when I started like Googling and looking up news articles, and I was like, then I was able to create content off of that, keeping people abreast about what was going on with the show without the show even being on, So, and I would tell my mom, like, this video got all these views, and I was like, yeah, they probably missed it or whatever. They really like that show. But yeah, so I would suggest if you could narrow it down to like a specific genre and other endeavors on other channels. Even this live probably won't get a lot of views because it's not my Love and Marriage Huntsville. And that is kind of why I have the second channel. But it's okay. We'll be back to talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. But I feel like because that's not as built up, I probably wouldn't get as much engagement. So I'm like, I'm going to see if my Love and Marriage Huntsville people will still show up in the stream. And y'all do. My girl Linda, that's my girl. Maria, all y'all like, I'm so grateful. Like, you guys just don't know. I'm grateful that y'all always come in my chats. When y'all had time and make it engaging and fun. Like, I hope y'all enjoy being here too. But yes, y'all. But you're right. That is what I would suggest. Narrowing your focus. Let me see if I can find that video. vidIQ. Because it's like I remember the guy facing everything. I was like, this video was extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. vidIQ, maybe it was like, if I was starting a YouTube channel today. It was something like that. Let me make sure that's what it was. Before I actually want you to look at it. Is it this video? I actually think it is this video. Okay, let me finish reading. I tried to watch Seeking Sister's Wife. I'm not a fan. That kind of show rubs me the wrong way as well. It really does. Because a lot of the time women be swallowing their pride. They know they really don't like that. You know what I mean? But they're like doing it for the man. And it just makes me sad because you're I'm not a fan of it either. But I be reading them comments. that kind of makes the show. Y'all, 90 Day Fiance. Are y'all watching that? 90 Day Fiance is pretty interesting to me. Like, Kobe and Emily, they're a mess. Who else on that season? Oh, the Muslim man and the older lady. I did a video on that. I only recorded it, but I didn't get back to editing it. But that show was resonating with me. Yep, this is it. This is the video. Let me show you real quick. Stay tuned reviews. This video. If you have 0 views, do this first. This was a very good article. See, here, see, your channel focuses everything on YouTube. That was the tip. Yep. And that's what helped me to make sure I zeroed in. I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because I was doing a lot of Love and Marriage Huntsville content. Then I'll sprinkle some other stuff in there. But like I said, the Love and Marriage content stuff will get the most. But then when I heard him confirm it to like be focused, that's when everything just turned to Love and Marriage Huntsville. And if I needed to talk about another show, that's when I kind of did my second channel. Because, you know, I wanted to say some other stuff. Well, what else is going on? But, yep. I think this is the video. So this is from vidIQ. If you have 0 views, do this first. Let me know if you want me to put it in the chat. I don't know if it's going to show up, though. Are you watching this on I'll put it in the chat anyway. I don't know if it's like clickable or not. Let me do. Okay. But yeah, I think this it has me like I like it. Oh yeah. Oh, there go my little comment. This video was a game changer for me. I'm back watching it for the 3rd time. Now focus on one concept from my channel. More of these type of videos, please. Yep. That was me. 5 months ago. This video was very helpful. Let me know if it showed up clickable or not, but here it is, just in case. Anybody else? If you start off on YouTube, this is helpful. You know, even it's a little harder for us because we are in a commentary space versus people that are kind of like that do tutorials and stuff, or how-tos. Those are kind of really good spaces because people do use YouTube as a search engine. How to do this, how to, you know, so those are easier. But for us, it's sometimes hard to make searchable kind of topics because it's already it's I don't know, you know what I'm trying to say? It's already what it is. So sometimes I'll be saying stuff like, and you won't believe what such and such said, what Melody said, for example, to get people to be engaged and decide to click. You know, we gotta see when we do commentary, it's like, gotta think about this thing even more. So, what about put a ring on it? Now, you know we ain't like that show, Maria. Cause Stay Tuned reviewed that show, but we wasn't thrilled about it. Wait a minute, put a ring on it. I'm thinking about what's that show where the woman be coming in a wedding dress and remember she be coming in a wedding dress and she give a man an ultimatum like, will you marry me today? I thought that was Put a Ring on It. I'm getting them 2 shows confused. Put a Ring on It. No, that show is good. I didn't really like this season too much because it almost felt like they was the same as last season. And you already know I like seeing it though because I liked Hollywood. That's my boy. I be like sometimes seeing him on Instagram, and I just like his personality. He's very like vibrant. He seemed fun loving. But I only like to put a ring on it for the first season. Cause I don't like shows like that. I feel like when when you decide to date other people to see if what you want back home is what you want, I just really feel like it's time to cut it off. Like I shouldn't need to date somebody else to know if I really want you. You know, I just didn't like that concept too much. Yeah, sometimes the commenters ask me to elaborate on some things because this space is so crowded and competitive. I try to offer viewers something that they won't get on the more popular channels. Yes, you do. I like I'm not trying to say because you're not on no Steve Harvey, Derek Jackson type time, but I feel like your commentary for me or what I get from like the shows that I do watch, and I would like to hear a male perspective, is like you kind of go past the fluff. You know what I mean? Um, like if I see a show, remember how like even how you explained on Ready to Love about Liz, like Liz, beautiful on paper, great, but the celibacy thing will maybe turn a lot of men off, like that. You know what I mean? Like you go straight to what it is. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like you be respectful or whatever in your commentary about when, but you just kind of like don't be living in this bubble. That's kind of like it's like your commentary is like sorry to bust your bubble kind of thing. Like, but yeah, but this is really what it is kind of thing. So it'd be helpful. So yeah, that I feel like that is what you. So I say all that to say like your niche could kind of be from the perspective of no, it depends. What is your most popular kind of video? And then maybe go from there. But don't. This is just like we're just talking. You don't have to listen to my suggestions or nothing like that. But sometimes it may just be that because, like I said, most people were coming to my videos for Love and Marriage Huntsville. So once I figured that out, I just kind of just stuck with that. And like you said, try to branch out a little bit. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, I do actually, now that I'm reviewing about them and so much and talking about them, I'm like starting to like them. Even though Martell be the villain on the show, it's like I'm starting to like him too because I talk about them so much. Like I start to see them differently. So for me, I be just trying to talk about the things that they do outside the show, like their professionalism, the business endeavors. You know, I just start finding out more about who they are. You know, so that kind of be my niche too. Like I be trying to think about how I can kind of separate myself as well. Because they are like people to look up to in a way. Aside from the craziness. Short, meaningful, and concise reviews that lets folks know if they are wasting their time or not. Yes, you do be getting to the chase. Maria Hardy, I reviewed last season. Put a ring. Oh, good. Get. Yeah, because I didn't really talk about that show. Judge Mathis has a reality show. Comes on Sunday on E. It's very good. Linda, I was on like Instagram because sometimes they be showing clips of shows, and they showed a clip of his show, and it was like him and his wife, Judge Mathis' wife, and his son and his son's maybe girlfriend or fiance. And Judge Mathis gonna say, "You smoke crack?" I was like, "Oh my god!" Like he's just gonna say that out of nowhere. Like he just literally said that. Like, but it was so funny. And then he asked his son, "You smoke crack?" Because it take a year to know a crack addict, and they can hide a crack habit for a year. But it was just like so funny to me because it was so random. Like who asked that? But it was very funny. So, but I don't watch his show. His show wouldn't be something I would like. I don't know. I would watch, but let's not get it twisted. I do have Judge Mathis' book because we both got the same degree. Not his lawyer degree, but I got he has his MPA too. Is that what made me get the book? I can't remember what made me get the book, but maybe no. Maybe I found out that he had an MPA when I read the book. So I like him. I do have his book, but I feel like I wouldn't really watch his show like that. Yeah. I haven't watched 90 Day Fiance in a few years. Oh, it's right up there with Love After Lockup. So you don't really watch those shows like that. Okay. Love After Lockup was popping too. I feel like I might have did a review about that show as well. I like them shows where they like couples be kind of quirky, or where like I don't want to say where people are using each other, but in a way, I don't know. Those shows do be interesting me because it kind of shows what happened. Like how sometimes we can look desperate in love at times, you know, and it helps me regulate myself. Like, don't be doing too much, Cinquetta. Linda say yes. It's clickable. Oh, good. All right. Yes, definitely. That video really helped me. It was a game changer for me. I don't know about you, but it was a game changer for me. I was like, I know his face. I know this man's face. I know I'm gonna know the video when I see his face. Marry Me Now. That was a show. And see, that title was so demanding. Marry Me Now. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. Like, whoa. So mean. Like, I wouldn't even want to ask nobody. If I felt like I need to tell the man to marry me now, I'll be. If it had to come to that, I would just. It's time to walk away. Anybody trying to force you? Yep, marry me. Okay. See, or I could not remember, but it came on at the same time. I was getting them confused. I watched all of Loving Hip Hop Atlanta, Hollywood, and New York. Rich D was still talking to her. I think he's still in love with her. I think Rich is still in love with Erica. See, Rich probably would treat her nice better than Safari. I did a video on that, y'all, because Erica was talking about Safari's new girlfriend. They were going back and forth, and I was like, Erica, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Stop being a bully. Most popular video in terms of views is Naked and Afraid of Love, but the retention is bad. Best video in terms of retention is Married at First Sight. Interesting. Is that like is it this season in particular, or you notice anytime you talk about Married at First Sight, the retention is going to be there? That's interesting. Yeah, so then, I do feel like, because listen to your title, Stay Tuned Reviews. But then again, don't say Stay Tuned Reality TV Reviews. So, I don't know. It's really up to you what you decide to do. But I felt more, I felt I had got my success once I literally just focused on one show. Y'all don't be caring about nothing else I got to say but Love and Marriage. No, I'm playing. Anybody watch Maria? No, that's my show. You know it's coming back on, right? Yes, I like Bell Collective. It's coming on next. What is it? The 29th? But yep, it's coming back on, girl. Yes, we watched Bell Collective. That is a show I really liked last season. And did you see the previews for it? They got the trailer on the own YouTube channel, and they're gonna be adding new girls to the show. I liked it the first episode when I think her name was Latrice, and she had that vending machine where you could buy weed. I thought that was so innovative. Like, I never seen nothing like that in my life. And I just liked that she thought of that. I was on my vending machine floor. I wanted a vending machine. Like, I was watching a bunch of videos about vending machines and what kind of stuff I could put in it. I was thinking about a PPE vending machine. Like, when they showed that, it was very it opened the entrepreneurial spirit in me, because I just thought that was super cool. I always like talking about it. Yes, I watched it. I also watched Family Chantel. I believe Chantel and Pedro is about to divorce. I watch clips of that. Most of these shows I'm talking about, like even 90 Day Fiance, I'll be watching clips. And I watched a clip of it and how, like Chantel felt like he was cheating on her and stuff because he would be out. I think they're arguing a divorce too. But and what people were saying was true. Let me see what Stay Tuned reviews say too, because he's a man. Do you watch Chantel and Pedro Stay Tuned reviews? And if you do, isn't Chantel like super pretty? Like everybody be saying that in the comments, like Chantel can get whoever she want. We don't know why she acting like this. I don't know why either. Cause she is gorgeous. Her hair is nice. Her body's nice, and she seemed nice. Like she seemed peaceful. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, I don't know why she. No, let me not say I don't know why she is with Pedro, but I do feel like she can get whoever she want. You know, she didn't have to go. Did they? I don't know how their love story unfolded. I guess that's what it is. But Pedro and Chantel, and you know what they said? They said her parents warned her. Her parents told her or whatever. You know, people won't be listening to. See, that's it. Nobody listens. A lot of times we just got to see for themselves. But Chantel is like very, very pretty to me. Oh, good. You saw the trailer? Yes. Okay. Yes. I watch Bell Collective. I don't know if I'm a review it or not, but I watch it. It is good, good, good. Like Chantel's just so pretty. And she's like so cute. But yep. I like this guy. The celeb talk guy. I like his commentary on shows and stuff. So when I go to his channel, I know it's gonna be like pretty good. He gonna say some interesting stuff. But yeah. Anytime I talk about Married at First Sight, retention will be over 50%, but the views are usually under 500%. Retention for Naked and Afraid of Love is around 25%, but the lowest viewed video is at 6K. You should maybe do a little both. Maybe put in some Naked and Afraid content, because that could be, let me see, you may be like, you could probably dominate that space in particular. You know what I mean? That could be something people like want to see. Is it on it? This is not what I meant, people. This is not what I meant. See, look, there go your review. See, yours is like literally showing up when I type in. So it's on this first page. Mm-hmm. Nope. There your playlist. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, look, you're the only one that looks like that's doing it. So you already have kind of a niche that people would be looking for. Is this show on now? Just maybe do a little bit of both and see. You know, you could do some experimenting, but you know, when I type it in, it comes up. There you go. I haven't watched Chantel and Pedro since that fool turned over the dinner table and Chantel's family stood there looking silly. I said, the math ain't math, and my mama would have raised him. Yeah. You know, but, you know, her family seemed like kind of chill. Oh, and guess what? Now, the brother got a girlfriend. And, yeah, it's a little interesting now. And I think the sister is finally breaking up with her boyfriend. From what I understand, like I said, I just be watching the clips, and it's like kind of interesting. I think it's interesting to me because it just kind of shows you can be the prettiest person. Because like I said, I feel like Chantel is very pretty, but that's not going to stop a man from using you or cheating on you or whatever the case may be. And not to say like I'm watching it because of that, but like it makes me also see that you can also be very pretty but not really realize your power or know what you bring to the table, because she would be the type that men would say, you know, was aesthetically pleasing, and she got what men would find attractive. So I find the whole thing very interesting, people. Okay, true. Yes, y'all. Oh, so 2 hours and 25 minutes. Time be going by fast. Do you watch Lovely T? She's like the YouTuber I go to for commentary about what be kind of trending and what's going on. Lovely T. And when she be doing her live streams, she be like, "Yo, I've been on here for 40 minutes already." And to me, when I'm watching them, it don't seem like it's been 40 minutes, but time really do be flying. And now I kind of get what she's saying. So this my girl. Oh, I need to. You know why I didn't want to watch this? Wait. Let me see. Yeah, she kind of gives me comment. Like I watch her for what's kind of to keep a pulse on what's going on. You know. This be my girl. I think I watched this one because it was audio, and she was like with her little co-host, and I don't really be liking them. But this one, you seen how them girls from New York tore up the place because of like they didn't want to pay extra for sauce? Do you know how bad I wanted to go through the screen because like they were making me so mad how they were acting. And you know what part really disturbed me was when I went and watched the actual video, and then in the comments, people were like, "This makes African American women look bad." Wait a minute. Wait. Who said these was African American women? Because they look Latino to me with last names like Flores and Alcaraz. They are not black women. So that's why this sometimes that like really irks me, because it's just like any other time they make sure it's separate. You know what I mean? But when it's bad behavior, oh, black women, like Spanish people are now black, like African. I was mad. They blame us for everything. My goodness. Chantel is definitely attractive, so much so she could literally have 90% of men that she wanted. Exactly. But she chased after Pedro even after knowing that he was just using her for her citizenship. I know, why? What is that about? See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, I really be confused. I really be confused. Yeah, I really be confused. I don't understand. But this is just a thought. Maybe you said the word chased. Maybe because she can have 90% of the men that she wanted, maybe Pedro was like a challenge to her. You know what I mean? Like maybe she didn't want nobody that just liked her just cause, and maybe Pedro presented a challenge. I don't know. I saw that. I was appalled. 175 is all they were being charged. Exactly. And, I'm also upset about this story too. This one about the New York bodega clerk tried to avoid confrontation that led to his arrest. With the whole thing with the bag of chips and stuff like that. That story irked me as well, because, lady, if your EBT card is not working, that is not the store owner's fault. And I don't like how that man, well, let me not say I don't like, because he passed away. But if her EBT card not working, like, why not just give her like actual cash so she could pay for the stuff? You know what I mean? Like this went down because of like some chips and stuff at the little corner store. It's not that serious. And you see, like, if you look at that footage, you see a lady in the, like, I guess a lady that was in the store heard what was going on. It's just like, look here, I'll pay for the stuff. I'll pay for the stuff. So it escalated unnecessarily. And like, yeah, just for like some, a couple $1 chips. It's very upsetting. Supply and demand. I can see that. Oh, Linda, that's your show. You talking about Chantel and Pedro? But yes, I don't, like I said, I don't know if y'all watch Lovely Tea, but she be giving really good commentary on interesting stories. I never forget is it this story? Yep, yep. This was her most. This is what got my attention for this channel, because I never seen a YouTube channel like this. For me, she changed the YouTube game. This was before anybody was like, I could be wrong, but this was before anybody was putting what people tweeted in a video and putting it together to tell a story and make a narrative. I'm like, dang, this video is on point. Like, she just broke it all the way down, and this is the boyfriend, and this is what the boyfriend said. Because y'all remember the story? The whole situation in the school. The teens who harmed Amy Joyner tell their side of the story on Instagram. Remember the young girl Amy Joyner that got into a fight in the school and like really got seriously injured at the school, and it just went viral. I remember like T.I. was tweeting about it, everybody was tweeting about it, and yeah, it's just like I never seen nothing like that. Oh, but I brought her up because she be doing live streams, and like I said, she'd be like, "Oh, 40 minutes done went by already," and like I said, don't feel like it. That's how come I thought we was only on here for like an hour and a half. So I was like, "Oh, it's only been an hour and a half." All right, y'all. Well, we've been up here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. All right, I'm gonna let y'all go because I don't want to keep you on here for too long. But thank you again, everyone, for joining me. Thank you guys for listening on the replay as well. Do not forget to like this video. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel if not. And don't forget to tell me more topics you guys want to talk about. I'm going to keep my eyes on the pulse of what's going on as much as I can. But we'll probably be back on Monday to talk more Love and Marriage Huntsville in the intro. Thank you, Stay Tuned Reviews. Thank you. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night, and I will talk to you guys again soon.